a blue hat, a Spider-Man backpack, and a 5-year-old boy caught in the middle of a national storm. Liam Conejo Ramos is back home in Minnesota after being detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and held hundreds of miles away in Texas. Liam and his father, Liam Conejo Ramos, returned Sunday following a judge's order that ended days of growing public outrage. Their ordeal began on January 20th when Liam came home from preschool. Federal agents detained the child and his father during an immigration operation in Minnesota, later transferring them to the Dilley Detention Center in Texas. A photo of Liam wearing his blue hat and backpack went viral, becoming a symbol of anger and disbelief across the country. On Saturday, a Texas judge ordered their release. Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro confirmed he personally escorted the pair back to Minnesota. Liam is now home, he said, with his hat and his backpack. Federal authorities say Liam Conejo Ramos, who is originally from Ecuador, entered the United States illegally in 2024. School officials, however, say the family has an active asylum case, a claim the Justice Department has publicly denied, deepening confusion and mistrust. Minnesota leaders reacted sharply. Governor Walz condemned the detention, saying Minnesotans want safety and freedom, not masked agents taking preschoolers to distant detention centers. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar shared images welcoming the family home, thanking those who fought for Liam's release. The case has intensified already high tensions in Minnesota as the Trump administration's immigration crackdown collides with public anger over recent deadly federal law enforcement encounters in Minneapolis. Tonight, Liam is home, but for many, the image of a child in a Spider-Man backpack will linger, a stark reminder of how immigration enforcement has reached the youngest and most vulnerable, and how quickly a routine day can turn into a national controversy.
Sirens, shields, pepper spray in the Texas heat. Outside a detention center in Dilley, Texas, protests turned into confrontation as demonstrators demanding answers were met by state police in riot gear. Chants echoed through the small town. Children are not criminals. Drums beat, signs were raised, and then pepper balls were fired, forcing protesters to scatter. Inside the South Texas Family Residential Center, a very different scene was unfolding. Democratic Congressman Joaquin Castro arrived to inspect the facility and to visit a 5-year-old boy detained with his father. That child is Liam Ramos, 5 years old, picked up in Minnesota, now hundreds of miles from home. Castro says what he saw was deeply disturbing. Liam lying in his father's arms, lethargic, barely eating, asking about his mother, his classmates, his backpack, his school.
And this afternoon, myself and Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman from Dallas, along with members of our staff, had a chance to go inspect the Dilley Detention Center in Dilley, Texas, and visit with Liam Ramos and his father, as well as hundreds of other detainees in that facility. Liam Ramos should be released immediately. We sat in what was the courtroom. You can see from the picture that I posted that he was lying in his father's arms. His father said that Liam has been very depressed since he's been at Dilley, that he hasn't been eating well. I was concerned with, you see how he appears in that photo with his energy. He seemed lethargic. His father said that Liam has been sleeping a lot, that he's been asking about his family, his mom, and his classmates, and saying that he wants to go be back in school with his classmates. He's asked about his backpack and his cap that he was wearing when they picked him up in Minnesota. I let him know that his school and his community, his family, and our country love him and we're praying for him. I told them that we would do everything that we could to get him out of there. I demanded from ICE that they release him. I told them that most of America wants Liam released and that he should really be released immediately. But the sad tragedy of all of this is that Liam is emblematic of the inhumanity of our detention system and ICE operations. I believe that we should disband ICE. I support the impeachment of Kristi Noem, and I don't believe the Senate or the House or Congress should give another dime to ICE in this appropriations bill.
Outside, tensions only grew. Protesters were detained. Others rinsed pepper spray from their eyes with water. Anger turned into grief, and grief into fury. Castro went further, calling for ICE to be defunded, disbanded, and stripped of new funding, and for senior officials to be held accountable. This moment in Dilley is part of a much larger reckoning, one stretching back to Minnesota. Newly revealed internal guidance shows ICE officers there were ordered not to engage with protesters, labeled agitators, following 2 fatal shootings of U.S. citizens during immigration operations. Reuters reported that officers have been told, do not communicate, do not engage, issue commands only. ICE officers will receive megaphones so that they can issue commands to the public and need to verbalize every step of the arrest process. The guidance does not describe what sort of actions would trigger commands or what officers should do if commands were not followed. The updated guidance came from Marcos Charles, the top official in ICE's Enforcement and Removal Division, the email said. It said officers could only target immigration offenders who had a previous criminal history. The shift comes as the Trump administration says it is trying to de-escalate after public outrage, legal challenges, and video evidence that contradicted official accounts of those deadly encounters.
Minneapolis stood still on Wednesday night. Along Nicollet Avenue, candles flickered in the cold as mourners gathered beneath streetlights surrounding a sidewalk buried under flowers, handwritten notes, and grief. This was a vigil for Alex Pretty, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, and Renee Nicole Good, a Minneapolis mother. Both were killed in separate shootings by federal immigration agents. Both deaths, residents say, now define a city on edge.
They killed him below a community center, and it was a murder. There's no questioning that. And as you can see, the community is coming out to say this narrative that they're trying to sell you all, that he was some kind of assassin, was just plainly not true.
What I have to say is what I'm watching unfold currently in my community and other communities near to me actually it hurts my stomach and my soul to watch. They have now killed 2 of our community members in just under a month, both of which were unnecessary and completely unlawful.
The crowd's anger was unmistakable. Protesters called the killing of Pretty completely unlawful, demanding criminal charges against the agents involved. 10 unnecessary shots on an unarmed man, one speaker said, right here, and nothing has changed. Federal authorities insist a Border Patrol agent fired in self-defense, but video footage shared widely online complicates that claim. Newly released videos show Pretty involved in a confrontation with federal agents just 11 days before his death during a protest. He's seen shouting, kicking an agent's vehicle, and being taken forcefully to the ground. At one point, what appears to be a handgun is visible in his waistband. He never reaches for it. It remains unclear whether officers even saw it. Pretty, a licensed gun owner, walked away that night. But he would not survive the next encounter. On January 24, bystander video showed officers pushing Pretty on a sidewalk near where he had been filming immigration agents. He is taken down. Multiple officers pile on. Someone shouts, "He's got a gun." Seconds later, shots ring out. Alex Pretty is killed. His family's attorney says nothing that happened days earlier justified his death. Alex posed no threat to anyone, he said. The shooting has once again reignited nationwide anti-ICE protests as Minnesota faces an aggressive federal immigration crackdown. Over the past 2 months, nearly 3,400 arrests have been carried out by thousands of agents. And now, a federal judge has stepped in. On Wednesday, Judge John Tunheim temporarily blocked the Trump administration from detaining refugees in Minnesota without warrants or cause, calling the actions terror inflicted on legally admitted residents. The judge wrote, "At its best, America serves as a haven of individual liberties. We abandon that ideal when we subject our neighbors to fear and chaos." As candles burn low in Minneapolis, the city is left with unanswered questions about force, accountability, and how many lives must be lost before justice, if ever, is served.
These officers that executed him are no different than the brown shirts that we saw in 1940s, 1930s Germany. And it won't be too long before they're not just in this city, but they're in your city. Any place that is trying to build a community now, that's trying to uphold American liberties, freedoms, all the things that we have fought for, should be worried and should be concerned. Because it's not just here. It's coming to you soon. I brought a sign today that said, "Justice for Pretty." And I can't tell you what justice would look like, but the officers fleeing this state, given leave, disappeared into the night is not justice. They need to be brought back to this state to face the charges that they are due.
My heart brought me out here. I don't know what else to do but to be here. I can't stay at home with this. I feel heartbroken, angry, upset, extremely sad for our country and our community and for human beings. Just heartbroken is what I can say about this. My heart feels like it's literally, like I literally have heartburn from this. And I don't know, what I'm seeing with the community, it's a beautiful thing. The love, and I know that will, overcome this hate.
It's pretty disgusting what they did. It's actually really foul. To know that nothing has happened to the people that shot him, because how many rounds did you count again? Like 10? 10. You counted 10 shots when they were shooting him, and I actually don't know what to say. It's actually really disgusting.
3 days ago, they used extremely lethal force, 10 unnecessary shots on an unarmed man, right where I'm standing. And yet, nothing's happened. Nothing has changed, and I don't honestly think anything will change until we do to them what they do to us. We need to start using our Second Amendment rights and fight for ourselves. I truly believe that. Especially here in Minnesota. Minnesota has always fought the good fight. Even back to the Civil War, we had regiments that broke down the fight in Gettysburg. Minnesota has always been on the right side of history, and we will continue to do that.